Hello again. This is Emmanuel Coyote Oladipo. In this tutorial, I will show us briefly how you can add icons to your buttons. You all agree with me in our previous lesson, we were able to create a simple interface for a calculator. We were able to add relevant buttons as well. Just a reminder, I'm just going to run this. This is what we were able to create in the previous calculator. We were able to create the screen and then embed the screen inside the interface, as well as creating the buttons as well. So what I'm going to show you this time is a very simple one. We're going to be adding icons. For instance, the delete icon will be added, the division icons will be added, and most of these icons, as a matter of fact, you probably won't find them on your keyboard. And as a consequence, we're going to be using Unicodes for that. So in view, having said that, our lesson topic therefore is going to be focusing on how to add icons. Adding icons and then programming a simple calculator. So we're going to be adding icons. Let me just make a simple corrections. Pardon me for that. Icons. So we're going to be adding simple icons. And after adding simple icons, we're going to make our calculator work. For instance, we want to be able to add numbers together, and we also want to be able to multiply numbers and then do all manners of calculation. Now, to make this possible, before we can do that, I just want to let us know that we're going to be using a function, an inbuilt function called eval. Eval. I think I have to write that somewhere you can see it clearly. Eval looks something like this. I think I have to write it very clearly. Let me make this a little bit bigger. So we'll be using this function here called eval. Now in Python, eval, we basically evaluate any mathematical expression. Any mathematical expression at all will be evaluated. So that is an inbuilt function. Is a subroutine written by highly professional programmers, and you can call it, you can use it by simply providing all the parameters you need. You can write any mathematical equation within the parentheses, that is within the bracket, and eval will do the calculation for you. So that keeps everything simple. Okay. Now, the Unicodes, you can find the Unicodes online. I've downloaded a lot of them. You simply just go on Google or Bing and type Unicodes. Unicodes. So if you type Unicodes, you need to scroll down to Miscellaneous Technica, as you can see here. There are mathematical Unicodes you can use as well. But there are a lot of lessons I want to teach you here on how to use the Unicode. For instance, if you want to use the delete key, which is this one here, the backspace here, you're looking at here, you need to type, you don't type the Unicode exactly as it is. There are some modifications you need to make. Basically, you need to type them in this format, understandable by Python, which is what I'm going to write for you now. So, for instance, if I want to use the backspace icon, what I'm going to be typing will be U, and then I have to type speech mark /U again, and the number provided 232B. This is what I will type, and then end it with a speech mark. Okay, so this is what you will type as one of the parameters for the button that you've created, and this basically will bring up the icon, that icon there. Now the 2, 3, as you can see, is not, we did not write it exactly as it is written here. You just have to type U first, and after typing U, you put the speech mark /232. Please omit the X, 232, and then go to the column here and look at the column. This is B. That's where we got the B from, the one I wrote here. You have to look at the column. You look it up. Okay, so I repeat, you need to type U first, speech mark /U232, which is this one here, 232. Do not put the plus, U232, and then look it up. As you can see, this is in the column B, so you type the B here. Okay, I will do that very quickly so that you see how it works. And to put a column, let's go back to our application. We need to decide where to add the icon. For instance, if I want to add the icon to, let's say, button 11, which is this one, instead of typing 11 here, what I'm simply going to be typing will be the icon. So I just type U there, and then I will type / and then I will type just that same number I showed you a few minutes ago, and then I will type B and delete the 11 there. Okay, so that will be U232B, and we do not want this to appear on the screen when we press that button. Okay, so what am I gonna do? I'll put comma there and type none. None prevents this code being printed on your screen. So if you type none as a part of your parameter, it's not gonna allow this to be printed on the screen. Okay, so let's run it and see exactly what happens. Okay, as you can see, the icon is there now. This is the icon. Okay, for instance, in place of 10, I can put the division icon, because if you look at your keyboard, actually, I don't know, maybe enhanced keyboard or standard keyboard or whichever one you possess, you probably won't find the division icon on it. So, but you can use the Unicode for that as well. As a matter of fact, I have done a lot of extraction here. I have gone, on Google and type Unicode, and then please, when searching for the Unicode, make sure you click on the list of Unicode characters. This is what I mean, because you might be looking for it and you may not be able to find it. When you go on Google and type Unicode, do not click the first one. Do not click Unicode Wikipedia. What you need to go straight and check is you should go straight to list of Unicode characters. List of Unicode characters. So if you double click that, it's going to come up like this. It's free. You don't have to pay anything for it. And then you can scroll down. We have mathematics. We have loads of them there. Loads of them, depending on the kind of icon you want to add. If I scroll down to, let's say, technical. If I go straight to technical, spacing modifiers, Greek extended, we have loads of them there. We have loads of them. You scroll down to for mathematical operator, division. If you search through this, you see division there. All of these icons, you can put them on any of those buttons, depending on what you want. The integral icon, mathematical operators, and the technical, for instance. This is the one. But if you want this one, maybe you prefer to customize your delete key. Well, you may want to use that, in which case yours will be U speech mark /232, and then you look at the column 6. You will not put B this time, you put 6 and then put speech mark, and that basically we position that on that very button, on your target button basically. But since this is the one I'm using, it will be U speech mark backslash U232B, because it's under that column there. I hope this is very clear. Now for division, so what I have done is I've extracted those ones I want for this project, and as you can see, I've typed them right here. For instance, for division, to have that division, because you all agree with me, this division symbol may not be on your keyboard, although if you insert symbol you may find it there, but you can't possibly use the codes specified in the Microsoft Word, because if you try using that, it may not work. Okay, so what I have decided to do therefore is to download many of them, as you can see here, as you can see, and basically what I'm going to do is, this is, as you can see, this is U00F7. For instance, if I want this now, if I want the division symbol on one of the buttons, all I have to do is copy that. Alternatively, I can type it if I want to. I know most of them offered. You just go, for instance, if I want it on button number 10, I will just go in here, delete whatever I have, and then paste it. And as you can see, I have U. Although, please, this is not going to work. As you can see, you have to change the speech mark, because the speech mark in Python is entirely different from what obtains in Microsoft Word. So you have to change the speech mark there. Okay, you see it turns green now, as you can see, and then delete that and put speech mark. And whenever I press that button, I do not want the division symbol to appear, so I put a comma and type none. Sorry, you need to start with capital letter. It's case sensitive. Okay, so if I run this now, you should see the division symbol on button number 10. Okay, so let me run that. Okay, the U is not recognized, so I have to delete that as well and put the appropriate U. Okay, so if I run it now, you should, I probably may have to change that U as well. Okay, so this is why it's always good to type everything. So if I run that, perfect. And then if you look at it now, the division symbol is there. Okay, and please note, if I press this now, nothing will happen. So we're going to program this to do simple division. Later on, we're gonna add more buttons for subtraction. Of course, you can do that on your own, for subtraction, for multiplication, and the rest of them. But this is basically how you can add a simple icon. Okay, now having said that, well, we're gonna move on now and do some calculations. Like I said, the eval inbuilt function can evaluate any mathematical expression. So it's an inbuilt function and is very, very powerful, and that is exactly what we're going to be doing. So for us to start, we probably may have to define a function. We're going to be defining a method. Let me use that word for it. We will define a method. And first of all, I want us to understand that. Let me run it so that you see what I mean. I want you to understand one fact. That symbol there is not recognized by Python. That symbol for division there is not recognized by symbol. So, it's not recognized by Python. And what does that mean? It means we have to replace that division symbol by the forward slash. You all agree with me? If you are dividing in a Python or Microsoft Excel, normally what we do is you use the forward slash. You understand? So we will ask Python to replace those icons. For instance, we're going to ask Python to replace the division icon by the forward slash. That division, we want it to be forward slash during calculation, at runtime. So that's exactly what we're going to do. And to be able to do this successfully, we will use the regex. The regex has a function called sub. So we will use that re.sub to, we use the regex subroutine to swap the division symbol, for the appropriate division symbol understandable by Python. I hope this is very clear. So, but now what we're going to do is we're going to create a method or a function on how what calculations should be done. And to do this, the next thing I'm going to do is I will define the function. We're going to call the function click. Okay, and it's going to be having, remember I told you anytime you define a function using in OOP, it is ideally you must have some parameters such as self, which makes it easy to retrieve or to call, to make a function call, to the method. So I have to type self there. And we also know that each button, like we said, has a value to write. Okay, for instance, if we press the let's say we press 2, we want that 2 to be written there. So we simply just have to type text there. It's one of our parameter. And we also need to type write, Now, because this is a function, you need to type a colon, like I have always said. And so we're gonna tell Python that if nothing has been written, and if the text, that is the button press, is equal sign, and there's an equation to evaluate, then we're gonna ask Python to swap the division sign. Remember, the division sign we have on the button is not understandable by Python. We just have to swap it for the / understandable by Python. But most people may not understand what I mean. Maybe I should use Microsoft Excel to demo this. Let me just go on Excel. Okay, so if I go on Excel now, let me go on Excel. If I go straight to Excel and type, let's say, if I want to divide, let's say 8 by 2. Normally what you do in Excel is you type equal sign, type 8, and then type /. / means division, and this is what Python understands as well. So if I click on 2 now, for instance, and press enter, it does the division for me. So we will ask Python to swap the symbol we put on the button for division, to swap it to a /. That's exactly what I'm going to be writing now. So what I will write then is I will write if nothing has been written. So if write is none, please note equal sign in Python is different from only one equal sign you used to know. The equal sign we have here, for instance, this is an assignment operator in Python. It means whatever is to the right is being stored in the variables to the left. Okay, but the actual equal sign understandable by Python is double equals. Okay, so if write is none, if there is nothing to write, and if the text, the button press, equal to if the equal sign is pressed, so it's equal to equals. So if this is the button pressed and there is an equation to evaluate, okay, self, actually we need to initialize the equation there. So, and there's an equation to evaluate. I need to initialize this at the top. You can initialize it anywhere, but I just type equation equal to 0 there. Self.equation equal to nothing. Self.equation if it's equal to nothing. that is if it's empty. Okay, please, I just put double speech mark there to show it's empty. So we initialize it. So if text equal to equals and self, there's an equation to evaluate. We basically want okay, I have to put a colon there because of the if. Okay, anytime you use if, the line must be ended with a colon. Please get familiar to the punctuation. So if text equal to equal and self.equation, we will type self.equation equal to, we want to swap now, ray dot sub, we want to swap the symbol for the division there. So remember, the symbol for the division is U speech mark and backward slash U00 U00F7. Okay, U00F7. I think I use capital letter there, and then you put speech mark there. So we want to swap this with a forward slash. Okay, and remember, this is for the, and where do we want this to happen? We want it to happen in the equation we have written. Okay, so I'm just going to put that for a start. Okay, I can go over this again if you don't mind. So the reason why we type this equation here is to swap the division symbol, which is this one, with the forward slash. Okay, and after swapping, although later on I'm going to be adding more, but I just want us to do that of the division first, so that you understand exactly what I'm trying to do here. So we want the evaluation after swapping. We want the evaluation to be done using the eval function. So, and then the result should be stored in a variable called answer. So answer equal string. I think I will explain that in a moment. Eval self dot equation, and then because we open two brackets there, we should have two brackets closed basically. Okay, so I will type two brackets there. Okay, so what this is doing basically is gonna evaluate after swapping. It will evaluate the equation we have written, we have typed inside the text box. I mean, on the screen, it will evaluate it, and we're using the string because remember, this is a text box. You can't store a number or a numeric data type in a text box easily. It's not going to allow it. So we need to change it to a string. So after the evaluation, it will convert it to a string to make it possible for it to be stored in a text box. A text box accepts text mainly. So for this reason, we need to use the str to cast whatever we have whatever has been evaluated here. Basically, that's what that means. Okay. Now, after the evaluation, what exactly do we want to be done? We want to clear the screen. Although we have not written the subroutine or the function or the method to clear the screen, we can call it and then we can write it later. So I can type self.clear screen. That's what I call the function. You can call it anything. You can, and then we want to store the answer. Sorry, we just need to clear the screen. And after clearing the screen, we want to insert our answer on a new line inside the screen. So I will type self.insert. It does not necessarily have to be insert screen. You can change it to whatever variable is ideal for you. but I'm only just calling this insert screen. You may call it insert answer or insert value or whatever. Okay, so I will insert the answer that has been generated there. I want to insert it on the new line. So you need to type new line equal to true, because we want it on the new line basically. Okay, but so I'll type elif. Remember, the elif will be somewhere around here, and for you to be able to locate the vertical direction of this, that is L, if the backspace is pressed, then the screen should be cleared. Okay, if the backspace is pressed, the screen should be cleared. So what I will do there, I will move this, and move this. So now I will type elif. Please note, in Python there is no else if, as it is with other programming languages such as C# or Visual Basic. So this has to be elif. So you type elif the text equal the space bar. Remember, the symbol for the space bar is that one there, 232B. So you can copy that, this one here. So if it is the space bar, okay, so if it is this space bar, what are we expected to do? We want the screen to be clear. So we're going to create another sub function, another method or another function, to clear the screen. So we just say self.clear screen, just the same way we have written at the top there. So I just copy that, self.clear the screen. Okay, and else, if there is just a text on the button, maybe 1 or 2 or anything, it should just insert that value on the button on the screen. Okay, except those ones we have said, okay, we do not want to see them on the screen, like the spacebar icon. Okay, any other text on the button should be inserted, in the screen basically. Okay, so I'll just type else, and to type my else, I will go to the beginning, which is here. Please watch the way I'm doing it, and press the tab key twice so that is aligned with the if here, the outer if. So I'll type else, anything else, and then you type colon there, self dot insert screen text. Where do we have insert screen? Self dot insert screen. So I just copy that, and paste it here. Self dot insert screen text. The text on the button should be inserted, any other thing. I think that is what we have to do there. But remember, we have not, like I said, we're making a function call to clear screen, but we have not created the clear screen itself. We're also making a function call to insert screen, but we have not actually created the insert screen itself. So we need to create them. We need to define those functions before anything. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I will create some spaces for myself here, and move this down a little bit, and move to the next line here. And the next thing I'm going to do, I will create a subroutine, that is a method to clear the screen now. And to do that, I just press the delete key once, so that is aligned with my function, my function definition, is aligned with other method there. So I'll type div, and I will type clear screen. It has to be exactly what I type here. You can just copy that and then go there and paste. And remember, anytime you define a function, you must type self to make it easy for us to retrieve it. Remember, we were using the self to retrieve it here. So it has to be a parameter there. And then remember, whenever you define a function, you must end it with a colon and then press enter. So we want to clear the screen. Any equation on the screen should be removed. We want it to be empty. So I'll type self.equation equal empty, like that. And we also want to configure the screen to be normal, ready to accept any insertion we want to make. And to do that, we just type self dot screen dot configure. We've done something similar in the past, and then we type the state, and then we put the state to be normal, so that we can insert whatever we want to insert there quickly. And having done that, we want to delete whatever is on the screen. Okay, the reason why we type this here is so because we want to clear the screen. So if the screen doesn't allow you to position your mouse, I mean, if you don't make it normal, it's not gonna allow any action, on the screen. So it has to be made normal to allow the entrance of the cursor automatically to clear the screen. That's why we've got to type that in. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do right now is I'm going to be deleting whatever is on the screen. Okay, so I press enter and I will type self dot delete self dot screen dot delete. The delete function is an inbuilt function, and since we want this to be deleted, just type 1.0 and then end. That basically will delete whatever is there. Okay, and that is all about declare the screen. The next one we're going to define is insert the screen. Okay, and that will be the final. To do this, go to the end here and press the tab key, because they must be aligned. They must be in the same, all your method must be aligned like that. So I'm going to be defining my screen insertion, which is this one here. So you can just copy that, and please remember, because this is this is a function. To allow this to be called, remember we call it using self. So as usual, you should be familiar with this by now. You type self there, and we want to provide a parameter of what we want to insert, and new line, because we need to set this to false. Okay, please note that if we call this insert screen, we do not want anything to be on the screen then. So it has to replace whatever is on the screen. So we do not want this on a new line, otherwise the equation may not be evaluated, may not be the program may not be able to evaluate the equation. Okay, so I will end this with a colon as usual, colon. So good punctuation must be there, and because we want to insert something inside the screen, what I need to do, I need to configure it as normal again, just the same way I did here. Otherwise it's not going to allow me if it's disabled by default and you are not aware. So you have to configure it to normal. Okay, and the equation we want to insert now, we will type it, which is self dot equation equal self dot equation plus the value we inserting. Okay, but I will use okay, please note this one here. If you don't want to type it this way, you can type it another way. For instance, you can replace and it will work. Let me just show you what I mean. Let me just show you what I mean. You can type self.equation equals self.equation plus str value. You know, this is another way of evaluating this. Okay, so what it means, but to keep it short, because the shorter your program is, the better. So to keep it short, let's just use that. They are the same. Okay, so having done that, we're going to be inserting the equation basically. So we haven't inserted the equation yet. We have only just write down. We've just only added the value to the equation we want to solve. There's a variable called equation there, and we just added all of the numbers and all the operators and everything. So we need to insert that on the screen as well. So we're going to type self.screen.insert, which is similar to what we did here. Self.screen.insert. Okay, I didn't even type that before. Let me just type self.screen.insert. Self.screen.insert, and we end because we inserting this, so we type value end. Okay, and after the insertion, we want to disable the screen, so that in preparation for the next one. So I'll just change this to disabled. Okay, and that is it, and then we're done. But please note, as it is now, we can only do division. We can do addition as well. We can do addition, but there are some others we're still going to be talking about. But with this now, it should be possible for us to do some addition. But currently, this is not going to work because we need to attach click everything here, that click function. Remember, the click function uses all of the other subroutine. The click function must be attached to the button. Okay, the button here, before anything can happen. So what exactly do we need to do then? What we should do is we need to go to our button, the button we created, and attach all these things. What I will type here is, let me extend this. Normally in object-oriented program in Python, tkinter basically, if you want to run a program, you can write a program and attach your program to a button, and so that when you click the button, the button produces an event running the program. So we're going to attach the program we have just written here, which is the click method. We will attach it to a command button. So you type comma and then type command. So if you type command, let's put lambda there, and then let's call the function click. That would be self.click, isn't it? Yes, I think so. So, and we provide a parameter there, so that, oh no, what have I just done here? Yes, we should have, this is one bracket there, and there are two brackets open. Okay, so we should have two brackets ending there. Let's test this. If there's any problem, we can easily fix it out. So basically, we add in the command self.click. We're calling the program we have written here, so as to make it easy for us to insert all those numbers and to clear the screen. Okay. Wow, it happens. So now, if division is what I'm going to focus on at the moment. If I type 8 and I press divide, and I press 2, and I press equal. Okay, this is not working yet, so it means there are some problems there. So let's clear this. So if we type 8 divide 2 and press equal sign, nothing happens. So let's check to see where we have gone wrong. I'm gonna go down straight there, self.equation equal re.sub. Okay, I think what I ought to have done is to do some minor configuration here. U00. I have not. I can see what happened there. Okay, this is B10, isn't it? U00F7, and I don't want to say none. Let me take this off so that we can see the division symbol there. And self.click. Did I write the, let me see the click text right? Yes. I think that's fine. Clear screen, insert screen. Insert screen, let's see. Right. Let me try again. Eight divide 2. Good. That works. Okay. So so let's clear the screen. It does it. Remember, this button here clears the screen. And as you know, okay, let's type 624 divided by 4. Press equal. Okay, that's 156.0, which is good. Okay, and now remember what I said. I said the eval function, we evaluate any mathematical expression. Remember, we've used the eval function in our click method. So what am I gonna do now? Let's see 34. Okay, let's clear the screen. So if I type anything and add, because I haven't added the symbol for addition, I have to put the symbol for addition. Now the symbol for addition is understandable by Python. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 13 of them there. 1 to 5. Let me just try this out. Okay, so okay, let me replace 9. Although we're still gonna make some changes. I'm just gonna put minus there. No, yes, minus. Let's see what's going to happen. So the minus there. Okay, the minus is there. Now let's see whether the minus works. I know it will. If I type 8 minus 6 and I press equal sign, that should be 2. So you can see the eval function basically evaluates anything. It evaluates anything. Okay, let's in one of the numbers I'm going to let's put a star. Let's put a star. For instance, if I put a star on, let's say 8. I wanted to put a star there. Put a star and then run that. So that the star is for multiplication. Let's multiply 6 by 7. That should produce 42. Okay, so you see, So basically, this is what the calculator is all about. But in tutorial number 3, I'm gonna show us how to create a scientific calculator. We're gonna be building on this actually. I will expand this a little bit, much more than this, and we will be adding a lot of features. Okay, except you have any question, please. Just in case you got any question, pop this into my mail, and I'm ready to help. Thank you. Bye.